Hello everyone and welcome back to a Let's Play of Primordia with your host Invalid. Where we last left off, we had talked to Leopold Steeplebuilt, if I remember correctly.
Goodbye.
And turns out he's a merchant on this little street corner.
Says robots away. Goodbye to school, please.
What?
Oh, it's so cute. I'm waiting for the punchline. What? Can't I like a cute little robot once in a while? I doubt it.
Alright then.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will ya?
We had just entered Metropole in the last episode and had seen some of the wrecked grandeur that the city offers.
Down for another megacycle.
And I think what we're going to go ahead and do is actually use this info terminal. Welcome. Metromind welcomes you to her city of Metropole. The city is a safe haven for all machines. System records indicate that you have come from Outskirts Station. All newcomers are required to familiarize themselves with local laws. You may also be interested in our history and landmarks. So one of the cool things about this is that you can actually type in different keywords in the bottom here and it will bring up different pages. So we can put in laws. What?
Hey, look, something came out of the machine.
Alright then, Metropolitan Law. Metropolitan Law is too vast for an ordinary robot to learn in full, but Metromind ensures that it is applied efficiently and fairly. Newcomers to the city should familiarize themselves with the Corrupt Data Elimination Plan, topic CDEP, and the Refuge Rule, as well as the Efficiency Initiative. Let's try CDEP. Corrupt Data Elimination Plan. In order to protect the city from corrupt data, Metromind and the Ad Hoc Robot Council passed the CDEP, under which all information relating to certain untrue subjects, such as the mythological man, is subject to swift elimination. Physical media containing such data will be disposed of in the Underworks quarantine zone. The Ad Hoc Robot Council. Interesting. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this printout. Inventory... printout.
The Law and You, a Metropolitan Guide. It's written by Clarity Arbiter Build.
Clarity Arbiter Build, huh? So, is it possible... I thought I guess it's just a printout of all the laws. For some reason we can't read it though. So we're gonna go back in here. So we have history and landmarks as well. So I'm not seeing anything more here in all caps, so we're gonna go to history. History. Metropole was built in layers by primordial robots, each generation improving on the last in an endless train of progress. At one time, the city was governed by a council, but by mutual agreement, sole power was bestowed upon Metromind, for whom the city is now named. Interesting. And then we had landmarks. In order to conserve energy and improve efficiency, only the city center is now accessible to metropolitan robots. Here, one can find the famed Council Tower rising high above Metropole, the old courthouse, and the historic Central Station, as well as Metropole's Main Street. For safety's sake, do not enter the Underworks. So that kind of removes our options, but what we can do is try different keywords, see what happens. Underworks are closed for public safety and will be reopened once additional repairs are complete. Thank you for your patience. Robot Council. The Robot Council was an ad hoc group of machines who convened to appoint a single robot to guide the city's progress. Its president was Metromind. Other members included Factor, Arbiter, and Memorius. Once it vested sole responsibility in Metromind, the body dissolved. Alright then. Factor. A machine of enormous size and productive capacity, Factor spanned much of the Underworks before being shut down to conserve power for his fellow machines. Factor was a member of the council that appointed Metromind to lead Metropole. Fully one half of the post-primordial robots of Metropole are Factor-built models. So then we had Arbiter. A rather simple machine built to resolve basic legal questions, Arbiter briefly served on the council that appointed Metromind to lead Metropole. He has not judged any cases for a long time, likely out of deference to Metromind's superior capacity to guide and apply the city's law. So we'll go back to the Robot Council once again. Factor and Memorius. Memorius was a database AI responsible for collating information from Metromind's use. As Metromind's own processing capacity increased, Memorius shifted to a purely storage role. His motto was, "See this data as I saw it." This kiosk is his only remnant. How interesting is that? Metromind. Metromind is the guide, guardian, and eponym of Metropole. Empowered by the ad hoc Robot Council to steer the city towards progress and a bright future, Metromind has led with great efficiency and clear logic. She shares energy, parts, and raw materials with other robots, asking only that they share, process their cycles, and exchange to help advance the common good. Thanks to Metromind, the city has followed an unbroken path of progress. This looks rather like a bum street if you ask me. All in the name of progress, they say.
It's too heavy for me to lift. Underneath this is a ladder to the Underworks.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
Interesting.
Hey boss, look! There's a red, burning, crashed hover bus and a writhing electrical cable. And that's the first thing you notice?
I can't help it. She's beautiful.
Well, you're not getting to her until we deal with this cable.
I apologize for that. I accidentally skipped some of the dialogue because I was trying to move the frickin' thingy. The frame.
Look at her, boss. She's like a star in the heavens.
That's a light bulb, Crispin.
Well, it must be incandescent because she's making my circuits awfully hot.
Oh, good God. But I was trying to remove the FPS counter for Bandicam.
The bus must have snapped the cable on the way down. Given the electricity it's spitting out, I can't get close to it.
Too
Oh,
bad
boy.
we can't just plug it into the unique.
Oh, point made.
A floating light pot. It's holding a spool of copper wiring.
It's she. And what is she?
She's holding a...
Okay, what's the repair
It
bot
looks like
doing?
he's trying to fix that crashed hover bus. Can't you do something about that cable?
According to my work order, I gotta finish salvaging this bus first.
That's ridiculous.
Not my decision.
Good grief. Okay then.
A crashed hover bus.
So we're gonna fix it up and do something amazing with it, right, boss?
No, it's not our property or our problem. I'm not here to steal parts.
Interesting.
Since
Aw, he's a strange
All
robot.
storage bladders empty.
Freaking storage bladders. Well, not much we can do with that. So this way is blocked currently.
A narrow cylindrical robot.
I dub him 20 TEM.
Hey
Why?
Armstrong,
It looks
top
like
me
a
off,
piece
will
of
you?
junk I saw once that had that serial number.
God. Oh, Crispin. You are truly
Well,
nuts.
boss, somewhere in there is our power core.
Somewhere in here, huh?
Anybody home?
You know, boss, I don't think that's ever going to work.
You never know. Looks like someone tried shooting the door, but the damage is entirely superficial.
Amateurs.
I love how Horatio and Crispin just kind of look at each other. Oh. Okay. Okay then. Sure. Whatever. Yeah, so we can't access that yet, even though that is the main tower, or potentially the main tower for Metropole. This is heading back to where we came from. Let's talk to Leopold Steeplebuilt. Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look. I'll trade it to you for something shiny.
So we need something shiny for this one, huh? Well, you want a burnt sensor?
The entire thing is fried. Actually, wait a minute. The crystal and plug are still intact.
Aha!
Please, for the love of Ram and Rom, tell me we are not going to build a third energy sensor.
I hope not.
Well, something shiny. We got our crystal.
I need to see what he's offering before I can make a trade.
Yeah. Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look.
Okay. Ah, okay, so this is how it works, right.
Here you go. A nice shiny crystal.
Hey Armstrong, top me off.
One heavy iron crowbar for you.
Why does that not seem like a great deal?
I'm not entirely sure, but...
It's too heavy for me to lift.
Fine. Put me down for another megacycle.
But, a crowbar is exactly what we need at this point. There we go. And now we can enter the Underworks. Now before we do that though, let's take a look at the terminal again. So we have all these pieces of the info kiosk that seem rather pointed towards Metromind being this wonderful being, this overseer, more or less, and
Boss, did you ever think that if you'd made me a cone rather than a cylinder, I'd have a floating point?
I'm fairly certain you will never have a point, Crispin.
Damn.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
That was harsh. Steeple. Steeple. This query has been deemed obsolete and will be removed in the next system upgrade. Metromind appreciates your patience. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Fine. Put me down for another megacycle.
Very interesting. Oh, and before we forget, we also have the name Horus. Horus, a single packet of data created during the Primordium, describes an Urbanian weapon known as the Horus that was launched against Metropole. Some archaeotechnologists believe that the Horus was destroyed by Goliath. Others believe the reference is simply a glitch or corruption in the ancient data. Okay. So, remember all those terms that we had earlier in the game, like the name Horus? Goliath? We can put that in. Goliath is a massive warbot built to guard Metropole from all dangers. He is stationed in the dunes outside the city. Dunes. Due to acid rain, sandstorms, and high levels of background radiation, the wasteland around Metropole is considered inhospitable for machines. Nevertheless, for salvage and waste disposal reasons, the outskirts station stop when the red line has remained operational. Only authorized passengers are permitted to disembark at outskirts station. So we had Goliath. What's the Primordium? Whoops. The Primordium was the historical age when basic machines developed into modern robots with advanced logic and processing capacity. Little is known about this period, though archaeotechnologists seek to uncover its secrets in the name of progress. Primordium can be used to describe any period of great advancement. So, progress. The inexorable process by which basic machines grow more complex over time. All thinking machines must, to fulfill their nature, both develop themselves and build superior robots to take their place. Progress is both a factual and an ethical imperative. Metromind is responsible for guiding Metropol's progress. Interesting that that would be an entry, so let's go back to Horus. How about Urbania? During the Primordium, at least 3 other great cities existed: Civitas, Municipa, and Urbani. Urbani? Little is known about them, other than that they were all part of the War of the Four Cities, and are presumed to have been destroyed during that conflict. War of the Four Cities. Fragmentary data describes a great primordial conflict among 4 cities, of which Metropol was one. The other cities, Urbani, Civitas, and Municipa, are believed to have been destroyed. Of them, Urbani was the greatest threat to Metropol, but its most dangerous weapon was destroyed by Metropol's guardian, Goliath. Heh. Very interesting. So what about Civitas? During the Primordium, at least 3 other great cities existed: Civitas, Municipa, and Urbani. Little is known about them. Blah, blah, blah. So this is under other cities by the looks of it. What about just for kicks? Municipa. Yeah, it brings us to the other cities entry. That's very interesting. So it's not by any information that we found in the terminal. It's by little things that we've found throughout the game that appear to give us different pieces of information.
A decryption module set to crack Urbanian military codes.
Very interesting indeed. So getting a little bit of our history. Alright, well, with that being said, and a little the pieces of world building, let's go ahead and enter the exit. Oh my.
They look like they've been stripped of usable parts.
And that they've been down here for a very long
They
time.
look like they've been stripped of usable parts. This vehicle looks more intact than the others. They look like they've been... They look...
So this one's okay.
This vehicle looks... some kind of...
Let's take a look at the hatch.
It's rusted shut.
Well, that's why we have a crowbar, right?
I've scraped off the rust. Well, let's see what we've got here.
We have an engine, huh? A fan belt.
Let's see if I can manage this. Hopefully I won't be holding onto this engine for long.
Jeez. Okay. Why are we carrying an engine?
I have no use...
That's never stopped you.
An air duct, hatch, a tank.
I have no use for it. It must have been some kind of tank for storing fluid, but it's dry as dust. An air intake duct. I'm sure it played some role when this machine was operational.
Very interesting indeed. Let's go ahead and close it. Inventory, car engine.
The sooner I can stop carrying this heavy motor around, the better.
I'd be happy to carry it. If I had arms, that is.
The sooner I...
I'd be happy.
I was hoping to actually read the entries, but I keep forgetting that right-click is for descriptions. And if we remember correctly, one of the other things that we were interested in required an engine. And I believe it's a motor for a motor, correct?
One fine motor you spotted there, but if you can find a big...
Yep, here we go. I have an engine. I have a motor for
Here
you.
go, Leopold. A nice big engine for you.
Not bad at all. You're a real scavenging expert.
Is that a compliment or an insult, boss?
Wait a minute, this motor's broken. The copper wiring's been stripped.
All items sold as is, Cairo. And I never said anything about copper wire being included.
You're a fine piece of work,
Be down for
Leopold.
another
Never said anything about that neither. Now you want to trade? Let's trade. Otherwise, get a move on.
Uh-huh.
Let me see your gun. We're not looking to pick up rent.
So we have no copper wiring for this piece. That's annoying.
It's not worth trading. It's not worth.
It's not worth trading for the small motor? Alright then. If you say so. Well, we got a motor for a motor, I suppose. Got some water here.
Boss, I think I saw something move in the water.
That's just your imagination.
So he says. Okay, so from here we have a couple directions we can go. What the? Well, hi.
It's a military-grade robot that looks a lot like ever-faithful Leopold.
Yes, it does.
Oh, hi. Oh, hey. Now look what I see. The wings of a baddie and his little trainee.
Why is everyone we meet crazy?
Crazy, he says. Oh my, oh dear. I assure you, my comrades, there's nothing to fear. Just little lost me, your brother knight-errant. A brother in arms. We have different parents.
A brother in arms? What does he mean by that? Considering that we are supposedly Horus, and that we were designed to take down... Well, let's just ask some questions first. Who are you?
Who are you?
My name is my secret. You can't make me talk. I'd ruin my puzzle, give a key to my lock.
Maybe we'll just call you Screw Loose.
A joker, he seems, for sure not an ace. He needs a small clue to spare him disgrace. For the crowd to adore me, Prime is my name. By now, no doubt, you've heard of my fame.
Primer. How do you survive down here?
How do you survive down here?
I'm a soldier by trade. Legion built me at last. My armor is sturdy, my
Legion.
pistols are fast.
Okay.
I carry no guns, for my weapon's my mind. And those who would kill me will find themselves primed.
Really, don't you think you're overdoing it? I mean, that barely made sense. And it hardly rhymed.
Yo, bro.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
When we laid down our arms, my medal was taken. Trinket of honor from the cause we'd forsaken. The metropolitan thief cast it deep in this hole, where now it lies buried like bituminous coal.
Hogs and gears, bituminous coal.
You're looking for a medal?
No, my comrade, you've misunderstood. I sit here and wait, as a penitent should. If the medal finds me, I shall claim it straight. But until that day, I shall sit here and wait.
Okay, so why Primer?
Why Primer?
There's nothing so gorgeous, flawless, or fine as the perfectly indivisible numbers of prime. Consider this list 2 to 199.
Jizz, okay.
Well, that was helpful.
Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling, the city awaits.
He's talking about mission and all this other stuff. It's like, why is he talking about that? And again, he said brother in arms. So he knows us from somewhere.
This is like the junk pile, only better. By which I mean worse.
Huh? And on that note, let's also think of the fact that he said Leo built. Just like Ever Faithful was.
They seem to be foundation supports for the city above.
Those are all that's supporting the city?
Yeah, that is a little terrifying.
They seem to... I can't see any...
That is very terrifying, actually. But, let's have a word with Leopold. Well, except we can't, so never mind.